Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Wednesday and it is 12 noon, and you're here for another episode of the Noon Report. And I tell you, got another one for you today that I think what you will find interesting. I am your host, Dr. Ron. I want to start out by giving a shout out. I always give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling together, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And one of the reasons why it's so valuable to have, if you do not have a mentor, get one. Your whole life will become so much more better because a mentor is someone that can be there praying for you, pulling for you, helping you in all situations that life has to offer. So I encourage you, get a mentor and then get a show so you can shout your mentor out. Now, starting out today, we know yesterday was election day, and it was a few Republican upsets, as you might say. They had 5 states that talk about their elections on yesterday: Indiana, Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Mississippi. Now, I'm going to start with Mississippi. Mississippi still got that old slave plantation mentality in place, and they are not able to change what they need to change. And what I mean by that is the Republicans are still ruling things in the South, and they're still persecuting people of color, and they tell you what to think and then you think it. So I'm very disappointed that Mississippi was not able to make some necessary changes in the state of Mississippi. I want to talk about, didn't get too much information on Indiana, but Virginia and Kentucky and Ohio did stand up for their rights. They voted, and I'm going to say it like this because I'm going to talk about it entirely. Trump did not rule the day when it came to who he supported, and then all of the candidates that the Democrats that were able to win their election. Um, Republicans took Kentucky. I'm sorry, Democrats took Kentucky, and partly because the main candidate against the seated Democratic governor was the attorney general who refused to bring charges against the officers that had killed Breonna Taylor. Now, Republicans tried to get him in office. He was a brother, if you can call him such, but he refused to bring charges against the officers who mistakenly broke in the wrong house and killed that young lady, and they did not have justice for that family. Okay, so yeah, there was a settlement that was made, millions of dollars given to her family, but the officers should have stood trial. They were incompetent. They busted in that house. It was the wrong house. They shooting bullets everywhere, killing people all willy-nilly. It is ridiculous how law enforcement need to be retrained. And the brother or the black person that was the attorney general refused to bring charges. Then he had nerve enough to run for governor, and of course, he did not win. A high note: the Democratic governor of Illinois supported many Democrats in their elections on yesterday, and many of them won. He also supported the governor election in Kentucky. So I am so happy that J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, helped, because he's a billionaire. He helped financially in some of those elections that took place on yesterday. Didn't get a chance to look up the results in Indiana. I will say that Ohio finally got marijuana passed. Recreational marijuana is now legal in Ohio. Now, there was a debate on yesterday. I heard some of the candidates for Republican president were talking about, well, I can't see supporting, marijuana in states when it's still illegal on the federal level. Well, what's stopping it? Why won't they go ahead on and legalize marijuana so that they can take it off the books, so that they can move forward with some of these states having marijuana for recreation as well as for medical. So Ohio as a state is now one of the states that joined all of the states that are on the list of states where recreational marijuana is legal. I foresee down the road that it's going to have to be legalized on a federal level as well, because there's far worse that's more dangerous than marijuana. Okay, let's talk about alcohol, the dangers of alcohol. Alcohol is far more dangerous than marijuana is. A person with alcohol gonna drink and drive, go out there, kill a whole family of 10, and be like, oh, I'm sorry. A person on weed, he gonna, eat up everything in the kitchen and take a nap. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay. So so yes, there were definitely some upsets on yesterday. And the main thing is Trump-backed Republicans did not rule the day. That's definitely something I wanted to say. Trump-backed Republicans did not rule the day. Okay. Also on the election on yesterday, um, most states had an abortion bill in place and was passed. So abortion was a major issue, and abortion rights was a major issue, and the states agreed that they need to make part of their constitution to protect abortion in their states. So I applaud them for women's rights, for making women's rights a part of their constitution. In most places that voted, the public spoke. Women's rights ruled the day. Okay, that was also on yesterday. All right, I want to talk about Trump. I always got to talk about Trump. Trump is mad, which is nothing unusual. Trump is mad over the fact that the GOP is still having debates to determine who should be the Republican candidate for president. So Donald Trump is trying to use his thugism again and say, hey, I'm so far in front of everybody. You shouldn't even have no more debates. Just declare me the Republican candidate. Well, there's several problems with that. So, and 91 indictments is part of that. You got 91 indictments against you. There is a debate where many states are trying to decide whether or not they even have to put him on the ballot, because of his involvement with January 6th. And he still feels like, I'm going to be the next president of the United States. I don't think so. I think that fear of reality is beginning to set in, and he should, just face the music, face the music. He's like the Titanic going down. He's sinking, but he don't even know he's sinking. Okay. because I believe the man is delusional on most days. He feels like the GOP should not have debates, which they have a debate tonight in Florida. So there's 5 candidates that are going to be on the debate. He feels like, I'm the candidate, I'm the man, I'm the one. You don't need to have debates. And the GOP has firmly said, no, we're going to keep on having debates to determine who is the best candidate to run. It doesn't matter what your polls say, because polls are rigged. You having a poll and he's standing there passing out $20 bills, $50 bills. Of course, they're going to say, oh, yeah, Trump's the man. He's our man. So polls are faulty. But people are beginning in the Republican Party to separate themselves from Donald Trump in a very slow move. Now, we're 1 year away from the presidential election. And that being said, Democrats ruled the day on yesterday, and they're hoping to do the same thing 1 year from today, rule the day. But Donald Trump may not even be included in the day if everybody understands what's really going on. Let's look at what's going on in his fraud case. He's got a fraud case that's going on right now in New York. And the judge, it was so interesting. The judge told Donald Trump to stop trying to use his courtroom as a campaign platform. There's 2 separate things. There's the court, and then there's your election. This is not your election platform. And the judge reprimanded him, told his attorney, will you get your client in check? Because he's still trying to campaign like he is on a podium, like, vote for me and I'll set you free. No, you're under a jurisdiction of a court where your businesses that you fraudulently ran are about to be fined billions of dollars and lose the privilege to do business in the state of New York. Now, he's already lost the case. They found him guilty. Now they're just trying to find out the dollar amount. I believe on today, his daughter went up there and he kept telling them, leave my family alone. Well, your family were part of the criminal activity. So the criminal activity that your family is a part of, they keep trying to, soft shoe it like, the Biden administration. The Biden administration had nothing to do with you stealing and lying about how much you're worth. Now, you can't blame that on the Biden administration. I don't know all the people out there that like to stand up for Trump, but how in the world can you blame the Biden administration for your lying and stealing? I'm just curious. I don't know where you get your news at, but he's definitely guilty of lying and stealing. Okay. Let me look and see what else I got here. Let's see. I already talked about, how everybody that Trump backed did not win on the election on yesterday. The court reprimanded him. And he talked about the GOP still continuing to hold debates. That's it. I really don't have too much else to talk about on today. I do have a warm and fuzzy Black History moment to talk about on today. And I want you guys to hear me when I say this. I always talk about Black history and things that have happened because it's very important. They reference critical race theory as something that's not important in American history. We don't need to talk about it. But Lizzie Benning Field Randall, 109 years old, is a female lady, black of color, that is still to this day, she's 109 years old. She's a survivor of the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, and her only desire is to have her day in court. Now, what I mean by that is that there were people that bombed and destroyed Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm talking about Europeans. They attacked and wiped out a black community, a prosperous black community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she is one of the survivors. I'm going to say her name again. Lizzie Benning Field Randall, 109 years old, and she is trying to have her day in court. She wants to testify to all of the atrocities that took place on that day. And I applaud her for still flying that banner to want to have her story told in a court of law. So I'm not sure how many Europeans are still alive that took place in that, but the state of Oklahoma owes a debt to those ancestors of the people that's blood was shed on that day in Oklahoma when they massacred all the people in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's it for today. I want to encourage you guys, if you're interested in having a show here on Street News Now, reach out, fill out streetnewsnow.com, fill out the form. Somebody on the administration team will reach out to you and help you decide time slots, what type of show that you're going to have. So reach out, fill out the form, and we will be more than happy to help you get your show up and running right here on Street News Now. Also want to ask you guys to subscribe, like, and share. Tell somebody about Street News Now and share the link. While you're here, hit that subscribe button so you will know every time that we go live. Hit the button. You'll know. It'll notify you. And shout out to my partner in crime, Mr. Lee Michaels. He was unavailable today to join me. He said he was going to be trying to get in on the show, but he was not able to get here. But shout out to him anyway. So I appreciate you guys joining me, being a part of what we do here on Street News Now. I thank you. You be safe out there, wherever you are in the world. Be careful. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. Come back and join me each and every Wednesday. I'll see you guys then. Peace.